Blade of the Immortal. It's a series I have heard a lot about for a very long time now. Honestly, years. When I first really started to dabble into, like, seinen manga, like Vagabond, Berserk, stuff like that, I got recommended Blade of the Immortal. I've heard many people tell me to start Blade of the Immortal because it was a fantastic read. It's honestly one of the best manga of all time. That's what I have been told. Now, I personally have never read the manga Blade of the Immortal, but I've, like I said, heard a lot of good things. And I have heard that there was, like, apparently an anime in the past, but it never adapted the full story. And I don't know legit if it was a good anime or not, but I heard it just didn't adapt everything. And this adaptation, Blade of the Immortal, apparently is going to be a full adaptation covering everything from the manga. So from what I'm hearing is that the manga is complete. So there is no more to the story, it's come to an end, and that this anime is going to completely cover everything. So that is relatively good news. For someone that hasn't read the manga, that means that I can get the full story from this anime adaptation. Obviously, I do think there's probably going to be some censorship, and maybe the art quality in some areas is not going to be as good as the manga, but even then, though, it's still nice to see that we're probably going to get a really good anime adaptation for Blade of the Immortal. Now, here's the thing, okay? One of the things I noticed that I really am a big fan of now in recent seasons we've gotten is that it seems like seinen series are starting to get a little bit more leeway. It seems like series like this are starting to get adapted better, more, gore and violence is being able to be shown, etc. Because with the viewer discretion at the beginning of this first episode of Blade of the Immortal, it made me very happy because I'm like, this is good news. For them to do a disclaimer like that, that must mean that this is going to be incredibly violent and also carry the fundamental themes that the original story had. So, that's good news overall. Now, once again, there probably will be some censorship because they can't show everything, which makes sense. I mean, BD DVDs can fix that up, but overall, it's better than probably a Berserk anime adaptation. Let's be honest with each other. So, Blade of the Immortal, I think, is off to probably a very good start with these first 2 episodes. Now, there is a couple things I do want to clarify. You did not hear me wrong. There is apparently 2 episodes out of Blade of the Immortal. So, if you've only watched 1 episode, then you need to go watch the 2nd episode, because it came out at the same time as this first episode. It's very similar to what happened with Babylon this season, but also what happened to Vinland Saga in the last season, multiple episodes airing at once. That's basically what happened for Blade of the Immortal. Now, let's get right into it. What is Blade of the Immortal about? Well, the title kind of speaks for itself. It's about a samurai that cannot die. And from what I gather from the synopsis of the story is that for every good man that the MC kills, he has to kill 100 evil people. And so that means basically he's tasked with killing over 1,000 evil individuals to be able to be mortal once again. That is at least what I know from the summary I read a long time ago, but also for the anime summary as well. So it's a very interesting story, because it basically is about a character that wants to die, but he can't die, which kind of explains his overall motive and theme throughout the first 2 episodes of this story, of how he willingly just throws his life out there and he doesn't care about himself. I mean, on top of that, he's immortal, but he just wants to die, so he just doesn't really care about preserving himself at all, self-preservation. So it's kind of creepy, and it's a really different tone than what you would normally get. So Blade of the Immortal basically set in, like, the era of samurai, where people carried swords, they had their own dojos, etc. That is what it's about. And if you don't like those fundamental themes and settings, then you're probably not going to really like this story. But if you do like that, then obviously you're probably going to enjoy these first 2 episodes. However, I am going to say that there is definitely an epilepsy warning in the first episode. Like, holy crap, like, if you have any of those problems with flashing colors and stuff, I really do recommend to be very careful at the start of episode 1, because there is a lot of flashing of colors that really just, like, whoa, blew me away. But, anyways, in terms of the story and what I saw from the first 2 episodes, because remember, I'm anime only. All I know is from what I've been told and the synopsis. The first 2 episodes are honestly very slow-paced, which kind of makes sense after I was told that the director of these episodes was the same person that worked on Steins Gate. That that really makes a lot of sense now, because if there's one thing that I think many remember Steins Gate for, is that, like, the first 9 episodes of the story is rather slow, and even though there's many that kind of drop Steins Gate because of that fact, it was worth the slow pacing for the dramatic build-up around episode 9 and onward because of what was done within those episodes. It allowed us to grow connected with each individual character, and so the slow pacing really worked out, and that's kind of what the director was known for. And so in this case, I could see why the pacing of Blade of the Immortal is very slow within these first 2 episodes. Honestly, if you're to watch this story and you're only to watch episode 1 instead of 2, you're probably not going to want to continue watching it, because there's really not a lot of context within the first episode to really satisfy you. I know at the very least it didn't satisfy me as a newcomer to the story, so when I actually watched the second episode, I was like, okay, this is really cool, I want to continue watching it because I really do like where the story is going. So, once again, I have to express the fact that if you want to start Blade of the Immortal and give it a shot, you're going to need to watch episode 1 and 2, because if not, like I said, you're probably going to find the pacing so slow that nothing relatively happens or is explained at all. But, anyways, I do think that, besides the pacing, art animation is gorgeous. I love the way the art and animation is done. Like, the beginning sequence of, you know, the first episode is just so beautiful. I love the color palette. It really just pops and all that. I cannot get enough of it. And I think many can agree with me that is definitely a beautiful series that really, I think, fits the tone of what this series is going for. Now, besides what the MC wants, which I talked about with the synopsis of the story, there is another major plot going on within this episode, or 2 episodes, and that is, we're introduced to a female character, which you could kind of say is the main female character, that wants to get revenge. She wants to get vengeance for her family, because her entire family was slaughtered. And so she wants to get back at the samurai, or the people that hunted her family down. And so she asks her, you know, like a person, a bodyguard, which is the MC, that cannot die, to help her out on her journey, which then he decides to help her out, which in turn is helping out his task of killing over 1,000 people that are bad guys. So that's kind of the point here, is that he's going to be traveling with this girl, helping her out, while also helping his own objective out as well. So there's some cool stuff here. So, I think Blade of the Immortal has everything it needs to really be a successful story. It just really comes down to the pacing and how the censorship is done. Because I'm assuming the original work is really good. The content is there to really engage a lot of people. It just comes down to the anime adaptation and how far they're willing to go with it. And I do think so far, they have shown that they're willing to show a lot of gruesome depictions and themes. I mean, especially with the dude that had the heads on his shoulders, that was really disturbing. I did not think I would see something like that from Blade of the Immortal, but we did. There is a lot of things that these first 2 episodes kind of shocked me about, and once again, it kind of makes me take a nod at how seinen is definitely shifting in the anime industry right now, and they're getting proper anime adaptations. Like, look at Vinland Saga, now look at this. It's great news to see, and maybe one day we might really get a Berserk anime adaptation that does the story justice, but we can only dream at this time. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the first 2 episodes. It's good. It's really, really good. I'm going to continue watching it. I can't wait to watch it. The only problem is that it's on Amazon Prime, so obviously the scheduling can be a little bit wonky, but it's still better than nothing, because I guess in some cases Amazon does allow these series to, you know, flourish. I mean, Vinland Saga as well is on the platform, so maybe there is a reason why these seinen have been so good, is because maybe they're on Amazon Prime. But I'm just going to stop it at that. But I love you guys. You have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. If you enjoy my content, please subscribe. If you like this video, please leave a like. And if you want to get notified for whenever I upload a video, please click the bell icon down below. And with that, Chibi out.